Hey there, Robin Thompson, creator of the Powerful Practice. I'm here with Carley Aroldi, who is, we're just celebrating from last night, her fifth sale for her coaching program. Carley, what's your program about?
Hi. So my program is called PACE, which is Parenting All Children Effectively. And it really focuses on children that are struggling with anxiety or challenging behavior and supporting parents in teaching them play therapy skills. So I'm a play therapist. And so I teach parents play therapy skills, mindfulness, self-regulation skills that they can use daily with their children to kind of foster more cooperative and confident behavior.
Awesome. Very good. So what led you to deciding to create a coaching program? What is it that really made you interested in it?
Yeah. So I've been in private practice since, I've been in this field for 15 years. I've been in private practice for 8 or 9. And, I just had a really thriving, successful practice and really felt like I wanted to, number one, serve more. That, my practice has been full, especially post-pandemic. Children are very anxious. Everyone's very anxious. Parents really need support. They really need skills, tools, guidance. And my practice has been full for a year, and I've been, just getting calls that like people need help, people need support. And, I was burning myself out, really trying to meet the one-on-one needs of like someone calls and I'm trying to fit them in or squeeze them in. And I realized like I need to find a different modality to support more people. And I randomly kind of came across the Powerful Practice. I actually hadn't thought too much about doing a coaching program until I saw some of your work. And I said, this makes sense because I can reach more people. I can support more parents. And also I can reduce my burnout level because I was doing like too many nights. My husband's like, you're seeing clients again, even if it's virtual, it's like, you really get sucked into it. So now the power of the group too, of having people in communication with each other. It's not all on my shoulders to support people. There's power in that group. So that's what really led me to it.
That's very good. Do you feel like the power in the group is helping you to get better results? I mean, do you think like there's really a lot of parents helping parents, or is it still mostly you supporting each parent individually in the way they need to be supported?
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful in how it's morphing. Like, I think at the beginning, it was really like, me supporting parents. And now that I have, a good size in the group and we're rolling and it's really intimate, right? You're together once a week and you're sharing, things that are vulnerable for you. And it's interesting. I have 2 parents, one on the East Coast, one set on the East Coast, one set on the West Coast. And they talk about how they're mirror images of each other. And so now the group is rolling more of like, good to see you. How's that going for you? I wanted to check in with that. And so now the power of that group support is becoming more evident as it's getting rolling more and more.
Very good. That's awesome. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
So how was the process in creating your program for it? You feel free to share the challenges as well as the wins.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny, I was talking to friends about this like midway through the program. So I kind of, not to like get too graphic about it, but I kind of compare it to giving birth. Like at the beginning, it felt like so exciting. And I was like, yes, I'm rolling with this. It's going to happen. And then it's like, ooh, it's starting to get challenging and it's hard. Like it kind of came in waves. Like the beginning, I was so excited to think of ideas and planning. And then when it got down to like the meat of really like focusing in on what do you want to do with this program and, creating it, you have to kind of come out of your shell a lot. It was a little difficult for me to start recording the content because I'm not like an on-camera person, right? So that getting over that kind of feeling of, can I put myself out there? Can I, kind of say to myself, you have a lot of value, you have a lot of worth to bring to people. That was like a whole introspective experience. So I would say it was not only like a deep dive professionally, but like a deep dive personally to say like, what are you bringing out here? And so there were moments where I felt like the peak of labor. We're like, I don't know if I can do this. And, I'm sure I was on calls with you and in the Facebook group, like, I don't know, I can't do it. And then you're like, come to the call, let's chat it out. So it was really a process. And now, you're at the other side of it and I can be like, oh, it was great. But I'm sure if you talked to me like a month or 2 in, I was kind of like, it's so hard, but it also was so rewarding. So I think that again, the power of the group, like being able to be in the group and seeing people that were 3 steps ahead of me and saying, you can do it. It's hard, but you got it. Like that was really important too, that part of it.
Awesome. Very good. Well, I'm glad that you shared that because it is a personal transformation that everybody goes through. Nobody realizes this at the very beginning. They think this will be a good business move for me. But in order to start being able to bring people at higher fees, being able to have that confidence, being able to do a little bit of marketing and for your program, and to be able to just sort of hold the space for this to happen, it does stretch you personally as well as professionally, and that is great because the other side of it is a new level of confidence and then feeling a new level of power and the ability to make a higher impact, a greater impact in society.
Yeah. And I'll say as a result of the program too, I actually raised my private practice fees.
Oh, wow.
So just, I mean, like, I think I was kind of due for it, but just kind of saying like, this is really valuable. Like what I'm bringing in here. And, I do sliding scale. So I definitely connect to families, but if families, it's an investment, like it's investment in their mental health, just like they're going to, do it, however they're going to spend their money. This is an investment. And so I kind of just raised my feeling of self-worth a little bit too.
Awesome. Very good. I'm really happy to hear that because it's important because there's so many people in helping professions who are undervalue themselves. The culture of the profession is to do that. And there's also pressure. There's pressure from corporate people, corporate entities and insurance companies, and to make sure that you do that, to hold you in your box. And in some cases, I believe they're making more profit out of you than you're getting paid, and it's important to break that paradigm and have an alternative to it. Now, for you, there was almost like a new promotional strategy that kind of emerged for you, which kind of responds to the pandemic, because for you, you really took advantage of the phone ringing and nobody in your state really being available in order to pitch the program, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, the influx of children who are struggling, especially post-pandemic, has just been huge. And I have a really tight network of people that I work with. We refer to each other all the time, child therapists, family therapists, and we've just all been booked because, the need is so great. And people that we used to see came back, like maybe people I saw a year and a half ago came back. And so, that was a real struggle. And so then you have newer people, especially I work with a lot of younger children, right? Really children under the age of 8. And they're trying to navigate this crazy world with their kids. So that piece where they really needed support and I couldn't give them that one-on-one support. Like I couldn't, it's like quality over quantity, right? I couldn't take more people without sacrificing the quality of the work that I'm doing. So you kind of guided and helped me understand how I can help people pivot who are coming to me for one-on-one support, which, is a very specific model. Like they wanted therapy for their kid. And you kind of helped me help them understand how we can shift and we can change to this group program, which actually in the end will cost them less than one-on-one therapy and also will give them lifelong skills, right? Not just this like 45 minutes once a week. So that was challenging. It was hard the first couple of times to help people understand that wanted just therapy. I'm coming in for therapy. There were some people that were like, no, not interested. But once I understood how to kind of showcase it a little bit and how to kind of explain it to people, it got much easier for them to understand the value and the benefit of it. And also the cost of really the cost benefit. Like if you were looking for one-on-one therapy for 4 months, that's a lot more expensive than this program.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very good. Very good. So what advice would you have? First of all, celebrating at your 5th sale. So that's great. Superb. Yep. Many more will come. What advice do you have for the person who's on the fence, thinking about doing this? Should I do this? Should I not do this? What would you tell them?
Yeah. For me, because I was on the fence a little bit, right? Like it's definitely an investment, right? It's not something that it's like, oh, I'll just sign up for this and see if it works or not. Like you kind of want to be guided to it. So for me, it was like, what really helped me was just to get really clear about what kind of impact I wanted to have. Right? How did I want to, as professional mental health professionals, we spend years and years developing knowledge, developing like our skills, developing all that. And to kind of use that in a greater impact meant a lot to me. So I would say, get really clear on how you want to use your specialty and your skills. And that knowing if you embark on this, you're going to have that kind of bigger ripple effect. right? And I think that the side note is, and there was just an article in the New York Times about how burnt out therapists are. Like, we are such a high level of burnout because it's like everybody's drowning and we're just trying to pick one person out of the ocean at a time. And so, remembering, and I say this to parents all the time, taking care of yourself is taking care of your children. So taking care of yourself is taking care of your clients. And this was just such a beautiful way to be able to take care of myself differently, right? Like, I'm only on the phone, or I'm only on these group calls 2 hours a week. Like, it's not overwhelming. Building the program was stressful, but like, now that it's rolling, it's not overwhelming. And so the fact that I'm not working 2 nights a week anymore, and I'm taking my son to basketball, and I'm, able to do family dinners more. That was really big. So that's when I got clear about where do I think this is going to take me? That's when it made sense to me.
Very good. And I love the effect it's having on your personal life as well, because that really is what it's about. Sometimes therapists are just, we're dealing with so many other families' problems, and we want to have the time that it takes to spend on our own, and it's hard with the business model that's set up. But congratulations, very good, and thanks for giving these words of encouragement.
And thank you for the support, because, first of all, just the many moments that you were able to like hold my hand over different challenges. And also, the technology side sometimes can be challenging, right? We live in a tech world, and that if I was struggling with that, you were like, I got it, don't worry. Like, I remember it was like 9:00 at night once. You're like, don't worry. Like, I'm like, my internet is funky and I can't get stuff done. You're like, I got it, don't worry, I'm going to set it up for you. So the fact that truly, Robin, like, I could not have done this unless I had your support through it. Like, I would have bailed 1,000 times. I would have bailed. I know myself. I have a friend who tried to start a coaching program without support. It didn't happen, right? So the fact to be in a relationship and have that like safety net was really valuable. So thank you.
Very good. Very good. Well, happy to support you. And, you're going to make a huge impact with this program.
Thank you. All right. Good to talk.
Yeah.